Well, I was brought up in a sailing family. So my mum and dad had me sailing in their boat at 10 days old. So when I was about 12, 13 years old, I started sailing my own boat. It was a fun way to adventure, and then I loved racing it. And so I started racing against lots of boys because there was hardly any girls sailing. Every year, Yachting New Zealand would send a team of women to the World Championships. And so I thought, well, if I get really good at windsurfing, perhaps I'll be able to go and see the world. One of my dreams was always to get to a Games. And so just 8 months out from Barcelona, I got run over by a motorboat, and it shattered my scaphoid bone in my wrist. And then I was lying in the hospital, and an intern came up to me and said, Barbara, I've seen your x-rays, I know who you are, and I don't think your wrist is going to heal properly unless you get out of here and go and see a specialist. And the specialist said, I'm not sure if you're ever going to be able to windsurf again. And I was just like, you've got to be kidding. This is what I do. This is my life. And he said, well, we'll see what happens when you get your cast off. Fortunately, when I did come out, I was able to hold on to the boom. Then it was a very, very intense 4 months trying to get fit enough. And when I got down, or I got tired, or I got frustrated, I'd have a little meltdown. And then would go, actually, you know what? It doesn't matter, I'm here. And it's still one of my favourites, racing in Barcelona, because the whole village was built around the sailing marina. So you could walk out of your apartment, down the stairs, into the marina, jump onto your board, and we were just there. When I'd wake up in the morning, I'd be so in tune with the weather, watching the clouds, and every day we would sail an hour upwind to where we were going to be racing, then sail there for about an hour, and then sail home, back again at the end of the day. So being in that place, feeling like your energy is at one with that place, and you own that place, and you feel local and you feel relaxed, was incredibly important for me to be successful. The beauty about sailing is that if you have 10 races, then you're able to discard 2 of your worst performances. But then the pressure comes on as you get to the end, because if you've already got 2 bad performances, then you need to have really good ones right to the very end. And in Atlanta, it was a very similar situation where it was very, very close coming into the last race, and I had to beat 2 or 3 other girls to be able to secure the second place. When I hit my 30s, I was in my peak leading up into Sydney. Mentally, you're a lot more happy who you are. You've got a lot more experience because you've been competing now all this time, so you're a little bit wiser. You're like the wise old fox. And I'd spent 3 years living in Sydney, off and on, to really get to know the Sydney harbour intimately. And I was very fast, very fit, very strong, very focused, and in a really great place. So I sailed the best that I possibly could, and I did sail the best, like an amazing regatta. But there were 2 girls that were just in the flow and the zone, and one of the girls who ended up getting the silver, she'd never ever beaten me in a race before. And so it was just an incredible Games in that respect. So who wouldn't want to go to Athens and prove people wrong that you can still compete with a kid in tow? I was in this place where I didn't care if I won, I didn't care if I lost. I was just going to go sailing, have a good time. When I came off the water, I had this incredible kid. So I was in the zone. When you've been the top of your sport for 21 years, you have to find different things that motivate you. I really wanted to go to Beijing because it was a new board and a new sail. And so after my second daughter was born, rallied up the support team and said, I'm going to really need a lot of support now with 2 kids in tow. And it was really hard. Actually, there was a moment I was racing, it was the second to last race, and I got to the top mark, and there was no one behind me. And I went, I've never been in this position before. I don't even know how that happened. And I just started laughing, going, oh my gosh, I have spent 25 years proving to myself and others that I can go around buoys really fast, and I know that I can do that. I don't have to prove it anymore. If I had a chance, I would live the whole thing all over again. It's just been the most amazing life that I had. I would do it again in a flash.